running a business these days, sometimes it feels like you can barely keep up with all the new tech coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, AI especially, it seems like every day there's a new promise. AI is going to revolutionize everything.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that.
Right. But it can feel overwhelming, I think, for a lot of business owners.
Oh, for sure.
Who maybe feel like they're already stretched thin.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't have the time or the resources to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah, so what if I told you there's a way to use the power of AI
Okay.
in a way that's really straightforward?
Yeah.
Surprisingly affordable.
Okay, now we're talking.
Even for medium-sized businesses.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds up our alley.
That's where custom GPTs and RGA come in.
All right, so you said custom GPTs.
Yeah.
What exactly are those?
So think of a custom GPT as an AI assistant,
Okay.
but one that's been tailored to your business.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like having an intern that read every single document, every email, every customer interaction in your company's history.
Wow.
And they can answer questions about your products, your processes, even your company culture, all based on your data.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's using our data to basically answer our questions.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, even the best interns need a little bit of guidance, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So how do we make sure this AI assistant is always providing the right info?
Right. Well, that's where ARA comes in.
Okay, RAG.
What is RAG?
So it stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay, I can see why we shorten that to RAG.
And it's pronounced just like the word rag.
Okay, RAG. Got it.
So think of it like giving your AI assistant a team of expert researchers who can instantly pull up any information from all of your company's digital stuff.
So like contracts, presentations, internal wikis, all that kind of stuff.
All of it, yep.
That sounds amazing. I mean, it really does sound like giving our AI assistant a superpower to just instantly access and process all that company knowledge.
Totally. Yeah, it's like the ultimate research tool.
Yeah. So what does that look like in the real world, like in practice? How does that actually help a business like mine?
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Say you're in a meeting and someone asks about a product detail.
Happens all the time.
Right, and it's buried in some huge technical document. Instead of wasting time searching for it, you just ask your AI assistant. Instant answer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or think about onboarding new employees.
Okay.
RAG can get them up to speed on policies, procedures, best practices, all without digging through tons of documentation.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're talking about like big efficiency gains.
Huge, yeah.
But the tech side of things still feels a little mysterious to me.
I bet.
I get the concept. But how does RGAG actually work, like, under the hood?
Yeah, so it's a two-step process.
Okay.
Retrieval and generation.
Retrieval and generation.
Think of it like this. You ask a question. RG is like a super efficient librarian.
Okay.
And finds the most relevant info in your company's data.
Got it.
That's the retrieval part.
Okay.
But it's even smarter than a regular search engine.
How so?
It understands the meaning behind your question and finds related info even if the wording's not identical.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So that's retrieval. But how do we go from finding the info to actually getting an answer?
Right. So that's where the generation part comes in.
Okay.
RG gathers all the relevant pieces of information and then uses its language processing abilities to synthesize those pieces into a clear and concise answer.
Wow.
It's like giving your AI assistant a briefing packet full of facts.
I like that, yeah.
And then they just present those facts in a way that makes sense.
Okay, so it's not just spitting out random facts. It's putting them together in a way that I can understand.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's actually useful.
Right.
Okay, this is all sounding really good. But let's talk about how we actually do this. Like, what are the practical steps to get RAG up and running in my business?
It's simpler than you might think.
Okay, good.
And affordable.
Or even better.
There are 3 key components.
Okay.
First, you need a way to gather all your important info.
Okay.
That's where SaaS integrations come in.
SaaS integrations. I've heard that term before.
They basically connect your existing systems to your AI assistant.
So like my CRM, my HR platform, things like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're not talking about getting rid of the systems we already have.
No.
We're talking about making them work together.
Yeah, connecting them.
Okay.
Next, you need a vector database.
Okay, a vector database. What is that?
It's like a digital filing cabinet for all your information, and each piece of info gets a unique fingerprint based on its meaning.
Okay.
So that makes searching super fast and accurate.
Okay, I like that.
And don't worry, you don't need to build one yourself.
Oh, good.
There are lots of SaaS solutions for this.
Plenty of options.
Yeah.
All right, so we've gathered all the info. We've organized it in a way that the AI can use it.
Right.
What's the final piece of the puzzle?
So we need to augment the prompts.
Augment the prompts. What does that mean?
Basically, we're giving the AI a little extra context with each question.
Okay.
So say you ask, what are our top-selling products in the Southwest region?
Yeah.
Our automatically adds info like sales data, customer demographics, regional marketing campaigns.
Oh, I see.
So it gives the AI everything it needs to give you a really great answer.
So basically, we're giving it a cheat sheet with all the relevant facts.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
It's like giving it a little boost.
Yeah, that makes sense. So just to recap, we can do all of this using existing SaaS solutions.
Yeah, for sure.
So we don't need a whole team of developers.
Not at all.
Or any of that crazy expensive infrastructure.
No.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Yeah, there are SaaS providers who specialize in RAG.
Okay.
And they take care of all the technical stuff for you.
So it's like hiring a contractor.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Right.
So one last question before we move on. We've been talking about using RAG with our internal company data, but what about the internet?
Ah.
Can we bring that into the equation as well?
That's a great question.
Feels like there's a whole other world of information out there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we'll be talking about next time.
All right, can't wait. I'm hooked.
Me too. So last time we were talking about RAG and how it can access your internal data.
Yeah, it's like having a superpowered research assistant for your company.
Right, exactly.
But you hinted that we could take it even further.
We can.
And bring in information from the internet.
Absolutely.
That's where it starts to feel really futuristic.
Totally.
Like almost too good to be true.
So imagine combining your company's knowledge with insights from the entire internet.
Wow.
So it's like giving your AI a window to the outside world.
Yeah?
It can see market trends, industry news, customer sentiment.
Okay, so now we're not just looking at what's happening inside our company.
Right.
We're connecting it to what's happening out there in the real world.
Exactly. It's like having a team of analysts constantly monitoring everything.
I like that. So can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you're a retail company.
Okay.
And you're about to launch a new line of athletic wear.
All right, I'm following.
Your AI could look at your internal sales data.
Okay, to see what's worked in the past.
Right, but it could also check social media trends. See what's hot in fitness right now.
To see what people are actually talking about.
Exactly. And it could even analyze your competitors' websites.
So we could see what's selling well for them.
Yeah, and at what price.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different level of market intelligence.
Right, it's not just reacting, it's anticipating.
Okay, so we're talking about a real competitive advantage here.
Definitely, and it goes beyond just market analysis.
Okay, how so?
Think about customer service.
Okay.
A customer has a question about a product.
Happens all the time.
Your AI can pull up the specs from your database, but also search the internet for reviews.
Oh, that's smart.
Troubleshooting tips.
Okay.
Even safety updates.
So we're giving the customer the most up-to-date information possible.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But my next question is, with all this information coming in, how do we make sure we're not drowning in data?
Right. Well, that's where the AI comes in.
Okay.
It doesn't just collect data, it analyzes it and finds patterns.
So it helps us make sense of it all.
Exactly. It's like having a team of analysts summarizing everything for you.
I like that. Okay, so RA can do all this amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Are there any drawbacks we should be aware of?
Well, as with any technology, there are some things to keep in mind.
Okay, like what?
Data quality is crucial.
That makes sense.
Garbage in, garbage out, right?
Right.
So your internal data needs to be accurate and up to date.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Security is paramount.
Oh, yeah, especially when we're talking about the internet.
Exactly. So you want to work with trusted providers.
Who have strong security measures in place.
Right. It's like having a good security system for your house.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits, the possibilities, some potential challenges. What's next for someone who's ready to explore RAG?
So first, you need to figure out what you want to use it for.
Okay, find the right use case.
Right. What problems are you trying to solve?
Customer service, internal operations, market intelligence.
Exactly.
So start with the problem and then find the right tool.
That's it.
Okay. Any other advice?
The AI world is constantly changing, so stay curious and experiment.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Exactly. Start small with a pilot project.
And see what works.
Right. The future of business is data-driven, and RAG can help you get there.
All right, I'm sold. I think we need to dive into some practical tips for implementation next time.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about what RAG is and why it's so powerful.
Like, we've laid the groundwork.
But now let's get down to brass tacks.
I like it.
How do we actually make this work for our businesses?
So the first step is to get really clear about your goals.
Okay, so don't just implement RAG because it's the shiny new toy.
Exactly. It's got to solve a real problem.
So what are we trying to achieve? Are we looking to improve customer service, streamline operations, get a better understanding of our market?
Those are all great examples.
Yeah. So start with the problem, not the solution.
Right. Figure out what you want to accomplish.
And then find the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once we know what we want to achieve...
Then it's time to look at your data.
Our data, okay.
What information do you already have?
Yeah.
Where is it stored? Is it organized? Is it easy to access?
That's a good point, because data is the fuel that powers our red, right?
It is. It's the foundation.
But data management can be a real headache.
Oh, I know.
Any tips for making that process a little less painful?
Don't try to boil the ocean.
Okay.
Start with the data that's most relevant to your goals.
So if we're trying to improve customer service...
Focus on customer interactions, product information support docs.
Keep it manageable.
Right. Prioritize.
Okay, so we've got our goals defined, and our data is prepped and ready to go.
Okay.
How do we actually choose the right RRED solution?
Right. So there are a lot of providers out there.
It's a crowded market.
It is. But don't let that overwhelm you.
Okay, good.
Just keep a few things in mind.
Okay, what are those?
Ease of use.
Ease of use, okay.
Can you integrate it with your systems? Is the interface user-friendly?
Yeah, we don't want something that requires a PhD to operate.
Exactly. You want your team to be able to use it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What else?
Scalability.
Scalability, okay.
Can the solution grow with your business?
As our data volume increases.
Exactly.
So it's got to be able to keep up.
Right. It's like choosing a car.
Okay.
Compact car might be fine for running errands.
Yeah.
But for a cross-country trip, you need something bigger.
Makes sense. So we need to choose a solution that can handle the long haul.
Right.
What else?
It's security.
Security, of course.
This is super important.
Absolutely.
You're trusting the system with your data.
So we need to make sure it's protected.
Top-notch security measures, encryption, access controls, compliance.
All the good stuff.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about the tech side of things.
Uh-huh.
But we can't forget about the human element.
Oh, absolutely.
Implementing RG successfully, that requires communication training support.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, we need to bring our people along on this journey.
Change management is key.
Make sure everyone understands why we're doing this.
Right. Give them the skills they need to use it.
And be there to answer their questions.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive on RAG, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
AI can seem intimidating, but RG makes it accessible.
Accessible and affordable.
Right, for businesses of all sizes.
So identify your goals, get your data in order, find the right provider.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Start small, learn as you go.
Exactly.
The future of business is data-driven, and RAG is the key.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I love it. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into RAG. I hope everyone listening feels empowered to explore this incredible technology and see how it can transform their business. Until next time, happy innovating.
See?